Good afternoon to you. We'll try that again. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon. We have to remember, we are here honoring the life of Alison McKenzie, right? And so we may have sadness, we may have grief. Let us have joy. Let us have love, because we know that's who she is. And I say is because we believe in the eternality, as someone said in the opening prayer, which means that life is forever expressing on this plane and on others. Is that right? Yes. So let's give a hand for this day for being here. Thank you so much. I'm Reverend Dr. Sunshine Michelle Coleman. I'm the spiritual leader here at the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living. We welcome you into this very, very prayed up place. We are celebrating 80 years this year. So many prayers, so many laughter, so much laughter, so many tears. And so we welcome you to bring yourself just as you are as this service goes on today. And so I will open with a prayer and invite you to either softly gaze at our beautiful stained glass window or allow your eyes to close and go within. As we go within to that place where the infinite resides, where the candle is always lit and cannot be snuffed. This is the place and the space that we all come together today to co-create this service in the celebration of Alison McKenzie's life here on this earth plane. We all bring our candles. We all shine our light as we honor the light that she shined in each of our lives. I bless this gathering, knowing that it flows with ease and grace, with divine harmony and love, that it is uplifted, and that all things flow together as we move through our grief and pain and sadness, and as we laugh and smile and enjoy the memories of Alison within our heart. We bless the family, the friends, the loved ones, this her spiritual community, and we simply bask in gratitude. Gratitude to simply be here at this sacred time. So as we let this word simply cast out like doves in the sky, we do so with smiles on our hearts, and we know that all is well. We let it be, and we know that it is good, great, grand, and glorious, and we have so much gratitude. Together we can proclaim, and so it is.
Please join us in singing We Let It Be. I will direct you when the verses change.
let the love wash over us, and we let it be. And that's what we're doing here today, is we're letting Alison's love wash over us. What was that I heard? Oh, she wants me. Alison's here, you know. You know she was going to show up. So what she's saying is she wants to thank each of you personally for showing up today and to celebrate her. And she says, don't make a big deal out of it, but just, we're glad you're here. So, what do you say about someone, a life well lived? What do you say about that? And we're going to have a lot of people that are going to come up and try to encapsulate what Alison's life was like in reflections and how tough that truly is. I'm going to try for a minute or two, and then I'm going to pass it on to Robin Rice over here, Homestead, and my name is Christopher Brown, and we're going to be sort of hosting this celebration of life. And when I think about the saying, it's the journey, not the destination, and we say, yeah, it's the journey, not the destination, and I'm going to say, well, that's true, that is true, but what's even more true is who are we traveling with? Who are our traveling companions? Who has your back? Who walks hand in hand with you in the good times and the tough times? And so I think it's truly the people that we choose in our lives, the people that have really made a difference in our lives. And Alison was a damn good traveler. And when I think of her, I think of a safe harbor. And what I mean by that is I don't think of her as a searchlight or as this flash and all of that. I think of her as the quiet waters, that in the midst of any storm, you can find quiet waters and refuge in her presence. And so I feel like I can always let down my sails and sail into that harbor, and I can tie up, plug in some electricity and get some food and nourishment, and then be on my way again. And it was like that comfort that she brought to so many people. And we'll be hearing more about that today. And so from safe harbor, I go to, my tears. And when Chantal gave me the call, and we all got the call, when we knew. And we knew Alison was going to leave us, but we didn't know when. And when it comes, it's always a shock. And it's like when they say in Star Wars, that ripple in the Force. And we feel that ripple in the Force when a good one leaves us. And Alison was one of those really, really good ones. And I miss her. And she's alive in that ripple in my heart because I felt it when I got the phone call. As we all felt something. And that if we didn't feel something, then there wasn't love there. But if there was love there, you felt it. And I'm continuing to feel it. And I say that no one ever dies. They're always in that ripple within our heart, and we carry her with us. So today we celebrate that ripple, knowing that it continues and that we are her legacy of love. And I invite up Robin Olmsted.
Thank you, Christopher. I am Robin Rice Olmsted, as Christopher said. And I just want to say, first of all, what an honor it is to have been asked to do this and to be here with you. And I just want to welcome everyone who's live streaming, everyone who watches this later. We have people here, Alison's family from Canada, as well as people in Australia and New Zealand and family everywhere, which I'm sure comes as no surprise, knowing who Alison was, that this would be a global event, right? So I wanted to begin with just what a journey this thing we call life is. it takes us on so many twists and turns, and we never really know where it's going to end or how it's going to end or how much we think we know, and we're never quite prepared for the certain structures and things that happen. So today is a situation where we all have lost something. Someone very special to us is gone. And it's not just any someone, but Alison was a transformer. She was a disruptor. She was good trouble, right? She was silent and yet so powerful. She was someone who could take a negative and turn it into a positive. She was playful. This is why Christopher and I are sporting these hats. Because when Alison got sick and lost her hair, she ordered hats for everyone to wear so that they could be playful and make the most of the moment. So she made it playful and fun for all of us. And that, coupled with her amazing wife, Chantal, they opened up the opportunity for all of us to participate in this process with them, to be on the Zoom call, to get updates about what was going on. And they opened up they made it real, they made it palpable, they made it so that we didn't have to wish we had said something to Alison. And that is just such an inclusive space of generosity that sums up not only who Alison is, but who the Rohlfing McKenzie family is. And it's just, it's so important. It's something that I'll always remember and appreciate. So for today, I'm going to ask you to just let go of any thoughts you have about today. Just let go, if you can, of any sadness or pain right now, and not that it won't come up throughout, but just try to be fully present. Because today, what I can guarantee is that everyone in this room and beyond will walk away and they will know something new. They will learn something, they will know something different, something different. So, sorry, sometimes it just comes through and I don't know what it means. So that's what you will know. So close your eyes for a minute and just breathe into this moment. And just feel Alison in the room. Feel that love that Alison is. And allow that love to carry you through this service, this moment, this day, knowing that it is always there for you. And it's so obvious to me as we stand in that place of love, as I have had the opportunity to meet some of Alison's family, that they are truly a family birthed from love. So I'm going to invite Alison's sisters, Leslie and Anne, up to the stage, and they are going to share with you. Thank you.
Hi, is this too loud? I'm not, okay. I'm Leslie, Alison's sister. I'm just a bit older than her. Anne is the oldest. I'd like to share a couple of stories from Alison's early years before she moved to the Bay Area in her mid-20s. Both these stories, I think, point to Alison's evolving sense of justice and advocacy. When Alison was about 9 or 10, she got very annoyed with the different way girls and boys were treated at school. Specifically, boys got to wear pants in the freezing winter. It's cold up there. And girls didn't. Girls could either freeze our butts off walking to school, or we had to put pants on under our skirts and then whip them off in the crowded cloakroom before we could come into the classroom. In addition to fuming at this stupid rule, Alison and a girlfriend did something about it. They made a presentation to the local school board explaining what was what. Times were changing, but the school board did change that rule right away. Go Al! You guys probably know this, but the girls in our family were serious goody two-shoes growing up. And even into adolescence and young adulthood. Not goody-goodies around social justice issues, though. There we were expected to stick our necks out. The hard balance. It was difficult to know who we were or who we might become. Basically, we didn't have a lot of practice pushing back. One time, I was driving downtown past a large construction site with many yards of wooden hoarding along its street side. And on the hoarding was spray painted a big message, a peace sign, followed by the words, "Arming for peace is like effing for virginity." But not effing, the real thing. So, I was so, it was kind of liberating. I knew I could share this with Alison and we could belly laugh at the phrase and show solidarity in the sentiment. Years later, when I reminded her of this, she shared with me that she and a friend were actually the graffiti artists responsible. Alison was a warrior.
I'm going to share a few more stories about Alison. She was adventurous, and sometimes her adventures were on a shoestring. So as children, we traveled a lot, and I think we all developed a spirit of adventure. When Alison was 20, she had been traveling in Europe with Leslie, and somehow she got to Australia on her own. I was working in New Zealand, and I got this late night phone call from her from Melbourne. Big surprise. I was thrilled to hear from her. And I asked if she also planned to come to New Zealand. And her answer was something like, "Oh, yes, I'd love to. Can you send me the fare?" She actually ended up staying for a few weeks, and she worked, and I think she made enough money to get home. Yeah. Alison was kind, and I think this is going to come up many times. Just a few examples. When she was 20-ish, Alison volunteered at a women's shelter, and she met a woman with 2 preschool girls named Patty and Lisa. Al got to know the family, and she became a kind of guardian angel for both girls, who are now adults, of course. And they become family friends, but Alison was always the most involved right up until the end of her life. Alison frequently cared for our parents as they got older, and she spent quite a few of her vacations helping them recover from surgeries. Al and Chantal visited our mom in the last year of her life during the pandemic. So they had to quarantine for 2 weeks in Winnipeg, and they were working online while they were doing that at an Airbnb before being able to see her for 1 week. And Mom was just overjoyed to see them. Al had a great sense of humor. I'm sure this will also come up again. Did anyone else secretly or not so secretly try to make Alison laugh? I loved to hear her laugh, and I realized later on in her life that it was actually saving up funny stories to tell her just so that we could laugh together. And that was often on Zoom, right? So it was together. Alison was wise. So I was really impressed to see Alison being so intentional about spending significant time with people that she loved in her last few months. I'm very thankful to Chantal and Liana for generously sharing some of Alice's remaining time with those people. I spent some good days with Al in March, and we talked through some tough family stuff. Some of it was from way back. And we shared some laughs, and we also encouraged each other. When I came for that March visit, I knew that I would be away from home for the anniversary of our son's death, which had been 12 years before. Well, I didn't have to remind Alison, who asked me on March the 6th to remember Scott with her. So we sat on the couch together, and we looked at photos and videos, and we listened to some of the songs that Scott sang. What a huge blessing for me. I really hope that I will have the patience and compassion to be so focused on others in the last few weeks of my own life. I'm very thankful to Alison, and I'm also very thankful for Chantal. She and Alison were so good for each other, and Chantal took such good care of Alison, especially in Alison's last few months. Next, we have a slideshow of Al's early life and her life in Canada. And I'll be singing during the slideshow. In 2005, Alison, Chantal, and Liana moved to Winnipeg for a year, which was a huge deal for them, especially the two who were born in California. Our family was thrilled to have them with us for that year. So I wrote this song shortly before they went back to California, just to remind them what they'd be missing. I think I secretly hoped that, maybe I could change their minds. The song is called Always Welcome Home. They did go back to California, but I think they liked the song. So I hope you will sing along with me on the last chorus at the end, and we'll try to time it so that the lyrics are up on the screen at that time, and I'll try to give you a little cue about that. From the island up north, where the loons call your name, to the wide prairie sunsets that beckon, and the sun on the snow, you'll remember, I know, come on home, it's a small taste of heaven. Blue and yellow fields of flax and canola, and the wheat fields are gold in the sunshine. 100,000 lakes, which canoe to take, where to swim, you can play here a long time. From the island up north, where the loons call your name, to the wide prairie sunsets that beckon, and the sun on the snow, you'll remember, I know, come on home, it's a small taste of heaven. Freshly fallen snow shows your skis where to go, and you skate frozen rivers all morning. Toboggan down a hill, then a hearth fire waits till with your family and friends you'll be warming. From the island up north, where the loons call your name, to the wide prairie sunsets that beckon, and the sun on the snow, you'll remember, I know, come on home, it's a small taste of heaven. You're always welcome You're always welcome home. You're always welcome home in Canada. You're always welcome home. From the island up north, where the loons call your name, to the wide prairie sunsets that beckon, and the sun on the snow, you'll remember, I know. Come on home, it's a small taste of heaven. From the island up north, where the loons call your name, to the wide prairie sunsets that beckon, and the sun on the snow, you'll remember, I know. Come on home, it's a small taste of heaven. From the island up north, where the loons call your name, to the wide prairie sunsets that beckon, and the sun on the snow, you'll remember, I know. Come on home, it's a small taste of heaven. Let's sing along. From the island up north, where the loons call your name, to the wide prairie sunsets that beckon, and the sun on the snow, you'll remember, I know. Come on home, it's a small taste of heaven. Come on home, it's a small taste of heaven. Thanks for singing.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Beautiful song. I'm ready to move to Canada. I want to share with you that in a little while you're going to hear a song that Alison wrote. And what Alison said to Chantal is, if you listen closely, you'll be able to hear me singing along. And I'm pretty sure she sang along on the last song too. So I'm pretty sure she's singing full out. In fact, all of the music that you hear today was picked by Alison and Chantal. And they are songs that they sang in the Joy Choir. And so they're very special and pertinent to them. And so now I'm going to introduce to you Chantal's wife, Alison's wife, Alison's wife, Chantal, and their beautiful child, Leanna.
Thank you all for being here. It's a very special day to honor Alison. Thank you, Leslie and Anne, the most incredible sisters-in-law. I didn't mention they were here for months taking care of Alison before she died. So I'm going to say a little bit about our relationship. Well, we met in 1989, and we were both in different grad schools. And we met when we were working the same, talk about the activist background. We shared a shift on a domestic violence agency crisis line. And it was a kind of a slow shift, so we chatted a lot, got to know each other, and maybe flirted a little. And so we each separately asked the crisis line coordinator for each other's numbers. And I honestly can't remember who called who first, but I do remember our first date, if you can call it that. We met for brunch at the Butter Cafe in Oakland, and in classic lesbian fashion, we spent a portion of it discussing whether or not it was a date. At some point in the conversation, I could be a bit direct. I told her that my plan was to have a child in about 5 years. And I'm still amazed that didn't scare her off, because at the time, she wasn't planning on having kids. I think as a lesbian, she just didn't think it was within the realm of possibility. But anyway, that was Alison, steadfast, open-hearted, and unshaken by things that might send other people running. In fact, about 5 years later, we had our commitment ceremony, and a year after that, Liana was born. Almost a year to the day. As a very fateful thing, Alison's cousin Peter was living in San Francisco at the time, and he offered to be the donor father, and I got pregnant on the first try. And then we became a family. So Alison was an incredible mom and partner, natural, deeply loving and present, leading with compassion always. She taught me so much about how to love well. Later, when Canada began legalizing same-sex marriage, we made a trip to Ontario. And you see all those slides of the lake. That was where they had their cottage in Ontario. So we used to go there in the summers with her family. And that place already held so many memories for us, and it happened to be Ontario was the first province in Canada to pass legalized same-sex marriage, so it was like, we're heading right up there. And it was a very sweet time, very joyful. Alison and I shared so much in our lives, both our work as therapists and social workers, our activist hearts, our deep love of nature, hiking, camping, and travel. We loved music and singing in choirs together, including the Joy Choir here, and also Canadian Choir when we moved there. We loved sharing our thoughts and feelings and our dreams. But even more than the things we did together, we shared a deep spiritual path. We both came from kind of questioning, agnostic kind of backgrounds, and together we explored Buddhism, past lives, and science of mind. We asked big questions and made space for mystery, and in time we created a spirituality that was uniquely our own, rooted in presence, compassion, and healing. We didn't just grow spiritually, we healed emotionally too. Together we worked through old wounds, held space for each other's pain, and slowly, lovingly helped each other become more whole. We learned how to trust more deeply and live more joyfully. We didn't just love each other, we grew each other. Alison was simply the most compassionate person I've ever met. Her calm, steady presence had a way of grounding everyone around her. She had a appealing laugh that bubbled up easily and a joy for life that touched so many people. She didn't need to be loud to be powerful. Her strength was quiet, wise, and constant. She made people feel seen and loved. I miss her so much. I miss her laugh, the way she lit up when I entered the room, her clarity, her kindness, and her unwavering love. Her belief in me allowed me to believe in myself. And I still feel her in the way I walk through the world, in the way I try to love and listen and show up for others. She is a part of me now, inseparable from who I am and who I'm still becoming. Ours was a 35-year partnership, a great love, a spiritual home. And while I would give anything to have more time with her, I'm profoundly grateful for the life we shared. Alison wrote me a beautiful song for my 50th birthday. I think she asked me what I wanted for my birthday, and I said, I'd like you to write me a song. Now, Alison was very agreeable to my suggestions, so guess what? She wrote me a song. And not only did she write me a song for my 50th birthday, a beautiful song, but she wrote me new verses for my 60th birthday, and then she was even working on a new verse for my 65th birthday before she passed away. So the chorus of the song, I'm not going to sing it, but the chorus of the song she wrote in French, which was my mother's mother tongue. It goes, and oh, Chantal Maurice, l'amour de ma vie, tu chantes chaque jour et nuit, l'étoile polaire de notre famille. And so I recite it back to her in English. Oh, Alison, love of my life, you sing every day and night, the North Star of our family. Thank you for continuing to be my North Star.
Hi. All of you are here because you know how special my mom was. Her energy, her love, her laugh, her kindness and compassion and generosity of spirit touched each and every one of you in some way, and I'm so grateful that you could be here today to share in the celebration of her life. It truly means the world to me. It's almost impossible to put into words what it meant to be loved by my mom, but I'll try. From the time I was very young, she made me feel seen as a whole person, not just as her child, but as someone with a complex inner world that mattered. She made space for my thoughts and feelings, no matter how strange, heavy, or confusing they were. And she listened without judgment, moralization, or controlling the narrative. She saw the fierce independence in me and nurtured it, even when I pushed back or took the scenic route towards growth. She never tried to change me, only to support me, and her belief in me never wavered. No matter what I was dealing with, she made me feel safe, seen, and deeply, unconditionally loved. And it doesn't hurt that she laughed at all my jokes, even the worst ones. I miss that laugh more than words can describe. Her career in public health and social work has been a source of inspiration to me for as long as I can remember. It wasn't just a job for her, it was an extension of her soul. She dedicated her life to the service of others because she believed in people. It's so easy in these times of immense struggle and inequality to become disillusioned towards humanity. But my mom never lost faith in the inherent goodness and worthiness and potential of other people. She wouldn't even turn away door-to-door salespeople because she saw them as people first. People working a thankless and often demoralizing job who could use a kind word and a smile. To paraphrase my insightful cousin, my mom made it clear through her words and actions that caring for others isn't just a task, but where real peace begins. Actually, one of the last conversations I had with her, I told her that I wanted to honor her by showing as much kindness and compassion to others as she did throughout her life. And she kind of just croaked back, "That's a tall order." My mom was, and always will be, a beacon of light and love in a world that can sometimes feel so dark and confusing and unpredictable. She was an anchor for me and Chantal during some of the most difficult periods of our lives. She was my role model, my safe place, and my compass. She showed me how to love unconditionally, to see the good in everyone, and to treat others with kindness, empathy, and care. I will always carry her with me. Thank you, Mama, for everything.
Okay, this one's for Gabby.
So now you're going to hear from some very special people, some of whom you saw in the slide presentation. These are people, our first person will be Anna Groover, who is Alison's supervisor at work. And then we'll hear from Carrie Rohlfing, who is Alison's sister-in-love. Alison's sister-in-law, Alison's sister. And finally, you'll hear from Alison's best friend, Jeannie Courtney. So.
Hello, everyone. I didn't get the blue memo that it was Alison, so forgive me. My name is Anna Groover. I work for the Alameda County Public Health Department. And I am deeply honored to stand here today to celebrate Alison. Her work journey, her incredible spirit, her profound contribution within Alameda County Health, especially with the Alameda County Public Health Department and the Center for Healthy Schools and Communities. Alison has touched and transformed so many lives, and I want to name and acknowledge some of what she has influenced, supported, led, and birthed. So bear with me, I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna share it all. Well, I'm gonna try to. She pioneered mental health support for pregnant and postpartum women facing stress, trauma, depression, and anxiety. And there are others who partnered with her. Carol is here too, who did that with her. She supervised our home visiting programs for expectant moms, young families, and those healing from the loss of a child, bringing hope and support when she needed it. Sorry, I'm a crier. Soy una chillona. I warned Chantal when she invited me up here. She was a key force on a team inspecting jails, bringing a vital spotlight to behavioral health issues and concerns for individuals who are incarcerated. She stood firmly for youth and adolescent mental health, championing their resilience. She held space and provided consultation to staff who were grieving the loss of clients. These were the children that we served. She offered consultation and support to male home visitors working with fathers and guided teams supporting children with chronic, disabling, and life-threatening conditions. She created a depression screening initiative at our WIC sites, ensuring that moms and parents received early care. She helped establish our sexual orientation, gender identity, and expression work group, and she was one of the first members of our anti-racism committee, building bridges, nurturing inclusion. She spearheaded community engagement during COVID with heart, grit, and generosity. Alison was a leader, a mentor, nurturer, activist, ever-present, kind, humble, and eager, always willing to take things on. And all of those things that happened, they didn't happen one by one. It was like half of them happening, then the other half happening, and sprinkled more on top. And Alison was always eager to just jump in wherever we needed her. The thread in all of this was her commitment to social justice, her heart, fairness, empathy, and commitment to do what is right. She made herself vulnerable. She knew her strengths. She knew her growing edges. And when things didn't work out, we talked about it, we worked it out. She brought such joy too. And of course, her laugh, that beautiful, unforgettable laugh, that from the sounds of it sounds hereditary, like a family thing. When Alison shared her diagnosis, our work family gathered together in a circle of love and appreciation. 100 staff came together in love, gratitude, and grief. Of course, Alison was taking care of all of us when all we wanted to do was take care of her. And so many heartfelt messages poured out. I worried that my words today couldn't possibly capture the full depth and breadth of Alison's influence, so I wanted to share just a few of those messages with you now. Rachel Simmons shared, Alison, thank you for your willingness to support me, a complete stranger at the time, in completing grad school, and for all your encouragement as I navigated as a new case manager with Black Infant Health. Your compassion, understanding, and kindness was a tremendous blessing. Although you weren't my private therapist, you were always willing to listen to me rant about my children, even before checking in about the client stuff. Thank you. Carol Trotter Brown shared, Alison, you have deeply touched my heart and made a lasting impression on my life. From the moment I met you, our bond was instant. You are truly an incredible and special woman. Thank you for showing me what it means to be an ally and for teaching me to stand up for what is right with such kindness and grace. It is rare to meet such an incredible soul. You are a blessing. Ms. Donna said, please know that your dedication and spirit have been an inspiration. And then, of course, we're public health, so during COVID, our hair was on fire. And there were some special people who worked with her in COVID because we're all, disaster service workers, and Alison was deployed to COVID. And Drew Jasper said, during that period of wild, wild west and sharing fear and high stress, it's not surprising that there were personality clashes and conflicts between colleagues. Our teams were working so closely with community partners. The risk of that moment were so gracefully and warmly navigated under your leadership. Those conflicts between people didn't end in resolution. Those conflicts ended with friendships. Your nurturing transformed opponents into friendships. No one else could have done that but you. Thank you for being you, friend. And Jeremiah said, I remember all the talks we had when I was a lead with the community teams. To think it was only a few years ago, but it feels like months ago. And this is the theme that came up so much. Those talks have meant a lot to me, the help and especially the time you have always made for me to help me succeed means so much. You were like no other person that I've ever worked with. We built the plane while flying, and we flew. And then finally, Donata said, the kindness, love, and compassion you have given others will go on and on and on. That is what really matters in life, that you have touched people in a positive, uplifting way. May it go on and on and on.
Hi, everyone. So I'm Carrie. I'm Chantal's youngest sister. And Alison wasn't just my sister-in-law, she was my sister. Our relationship evolved over time. I don't recall exactly when we met, but I'm sure it was at one of the many lively Rohlfing family gatherings some 35 years ago, when she and Aunt Chantal first got together. For those of you who don't know us well, I'm the youngest of 5 girls, raised in Berkeley by a passionate Belgian mother. Our home was warm, unfiltered, and always full of spirited conversation. One of our traditions was dancing in the rumpus room after family dinners. I remember one evening when Alison joined in. She nailed every synchronized step. In that moment, I knew she was a keeper. She embraced our family culture with joy and ease, which was a true reflection of who she was, a kind, genuine, engaged person. Over the years, as she became part of our family, I came to deeply admire Alison's empathy. She had a remarkable ability to meet people where they were, without judgment. Her care and compassion showed up consistently, especially in hard times. She was the person you can count on for support, guidance, and even behind the scenes, doing tasks no one else would do. 2 examples stand out to me. In my 20s, I was in a career transition and needed a place to stay. Without hesitation, Alison and Chantal opened their home for me. For nearly a year, Alison gave me space, comfort, and stability. We laughed, that's a common theme here, as you can tell. Talked, strategized. She gave me her whole heart. Years later, during the pandemic, I had a work assignment in the Bay Area and ended up hospitalized with a perforated appendix. Alison didn't think twice. She packed up my hotel room, returned my rental car, and picked me up after my hospital stay. Her instinct was always to help, with love, not obligation. Stories like these are not unique to me. Everyone in their family has their own version of Alison's kindness. Beyond her compassion, I admired Alison's unwavering, and I'm going to say that again, unwavering loyalty to Chantal and Liana. They were her world. Her generosity extended to causes and people she cared about, and she gave both her time and heart freely. We often talked about work, about leadership, fairness, integrity. She held herself to high standards and cared deeply about her colleagues and the organization she served. I respected her tremendously. But in Alison's final months, I witnessed something even more profound, her courage. When we received her terminal diagnosis, I was devastated and scared, unsure how to support her in a meaningful way. Chantal and Alison made sure to create space for visits while she still felt well. My sister Lisa and I spent a weekend with her in the Bay Area, and the moment we arrived, my fears melted away. Alison welcomed us with the same grace and warmth she always had. We laughed, we caught up, and we even got her up dancing one more time Even facing the end of her life, Alison showed up with the same love, kindness, and thoughtfulness that defined her. She continued to care for others before herself. That was her strength. That was her courage. Let me close by saying that one of the things I'll miss the most about Alison is her hugs. I told my son-in-law that I knew he was a good person because of the way he hugged. Strong and sincere. Alison's hugs were the same, full, grounding, and filled with love. Alison, you are missed deeply and always.
What would Alison do? What would Alison do? This is what I ask myself when I want to be the best person I can be, when it's time to do the next right thing. Because she was a paragon of unconditional love. Did someone mention she was kind, generous, giving? But even more than that, she was accepting, non-judging. She welcomed us mere mortals exactly the way we are. She was fun too. Adventurous, funny, really smart, talented in so many ways, and annoyingly humble about all that. We met almost 40 years ago. We were in graduate school. The world was new. We were both new to the area. We were young. Life was an infinite field of possibilities. That was really exciting and really, really scary. But Alison made me feel confident because she made me feel like I could be completely myself and it was okay. She told me her secrets and it made me feel safe to tell her mine. Unconditional love. One day back then, we were walking down Market Street in San Francisco. There was a man sitting on the ground asking people for money as they passed by. I had my typical reaction. Don't make eye contact. Don't feel guilty. Try not to get involved. Look ahead, walk forward, keep going. I don't know if any of you all have ever had that reaction in that situation, but I did many, many times. Alison, though, she knew this man's name. They chatted a couple of times a week. She got a little money out of her pocket for him, asked him how he was doing, introduced him to me, that lady over there trying not to make eye contact. What would Alison do? She extended that loving heart, that unconditional love to strangers, to friends, to family, coworkers, clients. As you've heard, her career was a life of service, and she treated her personal life the same way. I think every day I knew her, I benefited from that loving heart. And if you agree, if you had a similar experience, I just want to invite you all to take a couple of deep breaths with me and give her a silent song of appreciation in our hearts. Thank you, Alison. And thank you, all of you, for showing up, being here to share this moment.
Thank you, Anna, Carrie, and Jeannie. Beautiful. And speaking of unconditional love, it is my honor to introduce someone who masquerades behind a piano keyboard as just a musician. That's the costume she wears, but she is so much more than that. And she is the incredible, fierce Deb Santamaria. She's going to share with you. Yeah. No, applaud her. Do it. She's going to share with you her journey of helping Alison finish a song that she began 20 years ago in a foundations class at East Bay Church of Religious Science, and that she actually sang for her final project. So Deb, come on up.
So I want to share with you this wonderful honor I had and privilege of working with Alison on her song. It's called Who'll Roll the Stone. I remember when she introduced this song to me, and she says, I wrote this for my class. I have music, but I want to do something with it. Maybe you can put your Deb seasoning on it. I said, okay. And I said, what's the song? And she says, it's Who'll Roll the Stone. I said, I couldn't even pronounce it. I said, it's what? Who'll roll. And we were laughing. Alison was just so full of love, but so full of fun. We laughed that day so much before we even started on the song. I said, what are we doing here again? It was just, I had such joy where she just emits that from her. When you walk in the room, she doesn't even have to say anything to you. You just smile. I mean, we're both smiling. I said, my face hurts. It's just, I just loved working with her. Oh my gosh, that laugh is very familiar, hearing from her sisters. But I had so much fun working with her on this song. We went through a few different versions, and what you're gonna hear in just a minute is what I came up with. And she says, I like that. Let's do this. Let's move this around. I said, okay. I said, well, you know, I didn't want her to get too tired that day. And I was over your house for a very long time. And I said, if you're tired, we'll take a break. She goes, no, let's just keep doing this with a smile the whole time. And then she sat down and just, I like it, just keep playing. I said, okay. And Chantal came back from her walk and would check in, and I said, why don't I'll just come back. I'll come back, we can complete the song. We went through the song. It's from start to end, and we were gonna kind of clean it up a little bit, but I said, I'll come back. This was back in April, and then I did get an email from Chantal a few months later that Alison was approaching her transition, and in my head, I'm going, Alison's song, I know she wants to finish this. I called a good friend, another vocalist that I work with named Karen Smith. I asked her to come over to my house that day. I said, I need you to help me record this song. We're gonna complete it to the best of our ability, and I wanna send it to Chantal and Alison so she can hear this. And we worked on the song maybe 3 or 4 hours. I sent it that evening to Chantal to say, I hope this does the song justice. We did the best to reinterpret what I could remember, because all I remember was laughing. Just the joy of the song. You can listen to the lyrics. Every time I've played this song, I do hear her. Just like Robin said, I hear her singing this. She was such a trooper that day. As much as she wasn't able to sing, I told her, no, you don't have to. She goes, no, let me. I'm, okay, let's do this. Again, full of joy, full of love, and I hope you'll feel this in the song. I have also the honor of working with Cassandra and Deb Tisdale will sing lead on this. They've helped, Karen couldn't make it here today, and they will sing the song Who'll Roll the Stone, written by Alison McKenzie. At the end of the song, you'll see lyrics up on the screen, and we'll lead you, Alison would want you to sing the very last part of the song, okay? And we'll guide you through that part. Thank you. Just to inject, I didn't have the honor of knowing Alison. But after hearing the words today, I'm even more honored to sing this song. So, thank you. When life seems too hard to endure, its burdens too heavy to bear, my heart feels so hardened inside, with secrets too shameful to share. I breathe and breathe again. I struggle to move the stone. Who rolled the stone? Who rolled the stone? Oh, who rolled the stone from my heart? Who will roll the stone? Who will roll the stone? Who'll roll the stone from my heart? The stone is familiar and safe. It keeps me bound to my past. But now I live each day as though it were my last. I breathe and breathe again. I open myself to change. Who roll the stone? Who roll the stone? Oh, who roll the stone from my heart? I will roll the stone. I will roll the stone. Oh, who roll the stone from my heart? I labor to move the stone, like Sisyphus going uphill. Then I realize it's like giving birth. I let go and let spirit fill. I breathe and breathe again. The stone dissolves like rain. Who roll the stone? Who roll the stone? Oh, who roll the stone from my heart? Love will roll the stone. Love will roll the stone. Love rolls the stone from my heart. Love will roll the stone.
Love will roll the stone.
Faith will roll the stone.
Faith will roll the stone.
Hope will roll the stone.
Hope will roll the stone.
Peace will roll the stone.
Peace will roll the stone.
Love will roll that stone.
Love will roll that stone.
Faith will roll that stone.
Faith will roll that stone.
Hope will roll that stone.
Hope will roll that stone.
Peace will roll that stone.
Peace will roll that stone.
Love will roll the
Love
stone.
will roll the stone.
Faith will roll the stone.
Faith will roll the stone.
Hope will roll the stone.
Hope will roll the stone.
Peace will roll the stone.
Peace will roll the stone.
Love will roll the stone.
Love will roll the stone.
Faith will roll the stone.
Faith will roll the stone.
Hope will roll the stone. Peace will roll the stone. Love rolls the stone from my heart.
we're getting to the home stretch here. This is that we have 15 minutes for reflection. And that means for the people who want to add to what has been said already, if you can line up over here and come up and give us your 2 minutes of your best shot. And I know there's many that want to. And if we run out of time, there'll be a mic over in the social hall, and you can continue over there. So, well, let's just open it up. Come on up.
Okay, so you know, sometimes we can share so much of ourselves with other people, and it's hardest to reflect on our own shadows and our own the things that are deeply held in our hearts. And in the time that Alison was dying of throat cancer, it was very apparent to me, and even before then, that her voice was a very important thing. And, you know, if she had more time to live, or if she had a different life, I think she would have been a musician, because it was so important for her to express herself. And so in thinking about what I was going to say, I thought, there's 3 things. And Alison, thank you for being my friend. Number 1, stand up to those who make you feel small. Number 2, find your voice and use it. And then this is my wife of 26 years, Catherine. I learned about Alison through Catherine. And last night we were meditating to the Calm app. And what's his name, Warren?
Jeff Warren.
Jeff Warren, he's a wonderful meditation instructor. And he led the meditation. And then at the end of the meditation, or before it or something, there was a quote by Joan Rivers. And this seems apropos. I wish I could tell you it gets better, but it doesn't get better. You get better.
I learned so much from Alison about love and friendship, and I learned it mostly at the very end of her life. So there was a time, maybe just a couple months before her diagnosis, that I was going through a really rough time with my family, with one of my siblings. And I drove up into the hills and just to get away from the house, and I called a couple friends, and she picked up, and she spent like an hour with me on the phone, and I was crying and just like really pouring it out, and she was so present and so helpful. And it was the first time that we'd really connected in that kind of way, because we'd been spending all these, the previous 2.5 decades just basically hanging out as a group of friends, or, double dates and stuff like that. And that really stood out for me. And then there was a time in her last few weeks when I went over and spent time with her, and a little time with her, a little time with Chantal, and she was just completely opened up, like she wasn't held in at all. It's like she really opened up at the very end of her life. And I realized, I love this person. I knew I loved her already, but I knew that I figured out that I really loved her. And I decided from that point on not to hold back with friends, and to let myself love them, let myself tell them I love them, and to get to that level and not to wait until death is knocking on the door. So.
Hi, my name is John Chastain. And I had the distinct pleasure to have this amazing woman as a friend and more, and I want to explain that, and her beautiful wife and her lovely daughter who have touched my heart over and over and over again in my 17-ish years of knowing them, 16. I went to school with you, Chantal, as a practitioner. We did that together. And in Ernest Holmes' words, God is love. God is right here and dwells within each one of us. At least that's what I believe. And so I learned those teachings, and I learned what the obstacles were, what the stones were that were rolled away. And so Alison is alive and speaking to me through her music. Who will roll away the stone? Well, I had a way shower, and her name was Alison. And she was quiet and gentle. And that wasn't the way of my home that I was brought up in. It was chaotic, difficult, amazing, and very challenging. And so it wasn't until in my 40s when I went to see her David Hawkins, and I was sitting with this man who had completely turned his life around and was showing others how to do that. And he said something, he said, that which is the most powerful is the most gentle. My jaw dropped open. I was like, what? That's not the way I was raised. And God, in his infinite wisdom, continued to put gentle people, loving people, kind people, like Alison and her wife and her beautiful daughter in my path. And the song just brought it around full circle. The stone for me, as I was listening to the song, was this stone that Jesus said, roll it away, and Lazarus will awaken. And in Science of Mind, we look at the metaphysical meaning. What is beyond the physical? And for me, it was Alison saying, continue to roll away the stone, John. And everyone in this room, continue to roll away those stones so that you can feel the love, so that you can feel her voice, her laughter, her peace, her joy, and her gentleness everywhere you go. She is alive. She's flying. She's soaring, and she taught us so much. And to me, I always thought, I don't know, some institutionalized religions, which I shall not dwell on, but I'm like, where are the women? Because listen, women are amazing. And I think in the Bible, Jesus was like, they should be ministering, they should be listened to, the wisdom of the divine feminine. And I want to thank you three for sharing that with me, for always being there, always being the love and the divine feminine. And I would also like to say that we're always practicing something, whether we have a stole, whether we have a license, whether we took the classes, whatever it is. So as a practitioner, licensed practitioner, I'd just like to declare that I believe in all my heart that Alison McKenzie was one of the greatest practitioners that I have ever met. And I believe you all would agree with me. One of the greatest teachers of rolling away the stones, of bringing the love, bringing the faith, bringing the hope, and bringing the peace. And that song embodies all of that and so much more. So God bless you, Alison, right where you are, which is right here in each of our hearts. Thank you for being a beautiful practitioner of love, light, and of this beautiful family. Love you, Alison.
Hello, my name is Barbara Vivino, and I first met Alison with Chantal in my living room. Well, I had known Chantal, but I met Alison in my living room, and her presence was remarkable, and I felt very connected to her just from her presence there, and met her, and this was a spiritual activism meeting, and I met her several other times in activist situations. But this morning in my meditation, her presence came again, and she spoke to me, and this poem came. I wanted to read it today. For Alison, she walks in light. She walked in light not just beneath the sun, but in the way her laughter freely spun. joy from silence, warmth from presence, a soul who gave just by her being. Her kindness bloomed in every room. She was the calm in storms we wandered through, the hand that reached before we called her name, a steady flame that never sought acclaim. She lived not loud, but deep and wide and true. Though now her voice has quieted its song, her spirit hums where morning winds belong. In petals, prayers, and every breath we take, she lingers in the love we share. Her life was a gift, her memory our guide. She walks in light, she walks now at our side. Thank you.
My name is Margot Leslie, and I'm here because I have for many years sung with a group called Threshold Choir. We sing for people at the beginning and end, the thresholds of their lives. Another member, Judith Roberts, also Threshold Choir member, called me and said, I have this friend who's dying. Would you like to sing for her? And I said, yes. So it turns out I go to sing for Alison in the last month of her life. I didn't know her before. I'd never heard of her before, but I feel right now like I really know her, thanks to all of you. The second time I went to sing, we had trouble getting a team together. I went by myself, which is very unusual to go alone. And that afternoon with Chantal, and I can't remember the names, Anne was there. Was anyone else there? Okay, good. The family. It wasn't just singing. It was a family event. People spoke up, we remembered things, we remembered songs. I sang my heart out when I sang, and what really was the gift, I mean, singing to somebody is always a gift, but twice Alison got out of her chair and gave me a hug. And I don't think I'll ever forget that. She, with no hair, by the way, just put her arms around me and held me, and then sat down again, talked some more. She got up again to give me a hug. I don't even remember what we were talking about, but I thought, that is just so amazing, so beautiful. I felt so treasured.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody here are asking, who's this guy, huh? My name is Francisco Gonzalez, and back there is my family. I just want to say thank you. Thank you to her. I remember the last day we came to Chantal's house. When we finished what we were supposed to do there and come out of there, she was right on the front. My wife put perfume and everything because she wanted a hug. And she wasn't there before. I mean, she wasn't there. We kind of miss her, right? I think family miss her so bad. But today is her graduation day, right? She graduated. So everybody has to be happy about that. Alison, she helps us a lot. We had horrible times those days. She came and asked us, that we need anything. And I say, well, we're struggling. We're not rich. She did. So, because of her kindness, of her heart, because of everything, she spoke with me and all of that, I said in my heart, I have to say something. I gotta say thank you, Chantal. Thank you, Alison. I know she's not here. Her spirit. The last day we talked, she was so happy. When she came out, I didn't know that was the last day that she was gonna say bye. This was the only thing I remember. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Susan Brecker, and I am a practitioner here at this center. And I want to share a story. Susan and I went to visit Chantal one time, and Chantal was very present, always here in the sanctuary, but quiet. She wasn't out there all the time, but you knew that she was there. So this time we were at Chantal and Alison's house, and Alison was on some sort of medication. It was kind of like a steroid, and it made her talk, but talk incessantly. And that was so unlike Alison. But I remember sharing this with Chantal, and Chantal says, it goes on and on and on. I have to tell her to be quiet so he can get some sleep. But it was just, everything that she said was so wonderful, but I never heard her speak that much. So we just enjoyed the hell out of that. And we laughed a lot because she knew that she was speaking so much. And she knew it wasn't really like her, but she went on and on and on. And that's one of my favorite stories to share with you because it was so filled with joy and laughter, not unlike, but more of the person who shared herself. So thanks.
So we're gonna have Deb come back up and the sounds of joy.
So I also did not have the absolute honor of knowing Alison. But I am going to take this moment and allow her to sing through me. When I find myself in times of trouble, Holy Spirit comes to me, speaking words of wisdom. Let it be, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, Spirit standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. For though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. There is still a light that shines on me. Shine until tomorrow, let it be. I wake up to the sound of music. Holy Spirit sings to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Oh, let it be, 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 let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Thank you, Alison.
And so we let it be. So just take this moment and close your eyes once again. Go within and just feel the room. Embrace the love. Take all that you knew and all that you now know and just listen carefully. Listen carefully to our beloved, that we can always hear her humming and singing along with us. And as we do that, as we stand in that gratitude for all that we've known, all that we've learned, all that we've been able to appreciate today, I'm going to ask you to just remember that mischievous, glistening, playful spirit, and know that you take it with you always. So let's all stand and give Alison a round of applause for a standing ovation for a life well lived.
Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray!
Yay. And we just take this energy out into the world, knowing that it is love, that it is the one love, that it is the all-knowing love, that is our beloved spirit, that is in action all the time, and knowing that we are one with the one, and we are one with our beloved Alison. We know that we move forward knowing that we have embodied this consciousness of generosity, this knowingness of, yes, we will roll the stone. We are that love. We will roll the stone. What would Alison do? We take that with us, reminding us yes, of that higher power, of that generosity and givingness and uniqueness that came in that beautiful package known as Alison McKenzie. And so how grateful I am today that while we may feel like we have lost, have gained so much. That Alison gave us this gift, that we can walk this journey knowing that all is possible. So we stand in that consciousness of love, and together we move forth, knowing that love leads the way. So I bless Alison. I bless the beloved Mackenzie Rohlfing family. I bless all that are in other countries and other parts of the world feeling this and wanting to be here. You are here. We are here. And we stand together knowing that love is the order of the day. And so we bless this time as we appear to say farewell, but we just know that Alison's spirit is just going to be busy with all of us everywhere. So thank you, Alison, for saying yes and being that angel on our shoulder. We welcome you, and we're grateful for you, and so it is. As we exit, please allow the family to exit first, and please meet us over in the social hall to share more stories and good food and love and hugs.